Good day besties, and welcome back to my channel. So in this video we are going to be drafting a basic pattern. So here I have my measurements book, a tape ruler which I might need, a marker for tracing out the lines, a pencil for pointing out the lines, a scissors, of course our pattern master, and also a tape rule. So to draft out the pattern, the first thing you will need to do is to rule out a straight line. So I decided to rule out the straight line with my pencil first, so it's easier when I make mistake. I'll just erase it, and then I'll go in with my marker. Then I went ahead to check out the measurement because it's actually for someone. I'm about to make someone's dress, so I need to draft a pattern, and I thought, why not make this video for you guys? So I went about to check my waist measurement, which is about 16 inches, and I decided to write it on top of the paper so I won't forget. And I went ahead to check out the remaining measurements and measure my vertical measurements first, which consists of the bust measurement, the under the bust measurement, waist measurement, and the hip measurement. Basically, you don't really need your under the bust measurements when drafting a basic pattern, a basic body pattern. But I don't know why I went in with a under the bust measurements. So I'm just going to go ahead and input those measurements into the pattern paper. I like to take my measurements from each side, so when I draw my line, it's not going to be bent. I'll have a straight line. So after taking those measurements with my pencil, I went ahead to use my marker to rule out the measurements with my ruler, of course, so that the lines are going to be very visible, of course, for you guys to see. After doing that, I'm going to go ahead to take my horizontal measurement, which includes my shoulder measurement, that's the shoulder to shoulder measurement, then my bust measurement. Before we took for the shoulder to bust, to under bust, and to waist and hip, but now we're just going to be imputing our bust measurement, that's the round bust, the round under the bust, the round waist, and our round hip. So that's what I'm going to be doing basically. So I won't be tracing those lines out yet with my marker, because I want to get my chest line first, which is at the upper part of the bust line. So to get your chest line, you divide your bust measurements, that's round around your bust, you divide it by 6 and add 2.5 inches to it. So I went ahead to do my calculations, got my figures, and imputed it into on the pattern paper. just going to trace that out with my ruler and marker. I'm also going to be tracing in my shoulder measurement down to my chest line, so I can have a line to work with while cutting out the armhole. So I'm just going to go in with my tape rule. Yes, come down by 1 at the upper part of my shoulder by 1 inches. So I'm going to measure out my neck measurement as well, so that I'll be able to draw the line for the shoulder slant. So after I took that in by the standard measurement, which is of course 3 inches, that's the neck width, and I'm just going to draw a straight line from the 1 inches we took down to the point of the neck. Yes, so I'm going to take my tape rule and measure down from that 1 inch point down to my chest line, and to get the midpoint we are just going to fold our tape rule into 2 and mark that section, because we are going to be going in by ½ inches. All right, so I take that part again, you measure it down and fold your tape rule into 2 to get your midsection, and you go in by ½ inches from that middle part that you've measured. All right, middle part that you've marked. So we are going to use our ruler and our marker, of course, to just sketch that part from, I took mine from the middle part to my chest line. Yes, the measurements in my chest line, and I just went ahead to just basically mark it. Of course, I just basically mark it and then try to balance the ruler so I can get the actual armhole curve. So I can get the actual armhole curve. I'm not using an armhole curve, I'm using this pattern master here. So that's why I had not really some difficulty, but that's why it had to be like this. The next thing I want to do is to get my dart measurement. So I'm just going to be going in by 3 inches. Yes, 3 inches, that's the nipple to nipple measurement. I'm going to be going in by 3 inches, and I'm just going to mark that line from the bust point down to the hip point. All right, I'm going to mark that from the bust point down to the hip point. And I'll just rule a straight line on it. I decide to label the horizontal lines, which includes the chest, bust, under the bust, the waistline, and the hip or hem line. Alright, so in my waistline, at that waistline, I'm going to be going in by 0.75 on both sides from that straight line that we drew, that we marked. I'm going to be going in and out by 0.75. all right, and that is going to give us 1.5 inches in total. So from that point, from that waistline point, I went down by 3 inches. At first I wanted to do 2, but I changed my mind and did 3 inches. So I'm going to get that to serve as the end point of the dart. It will serve as the end point of the dart. So from that, those 3 marks that we have, that's the new hemline, let's call it the new hemline, the waistline and the bust line, we are going to connect those lines together to get our darts. So I'm just going to go ahead and connect those lines with my pencil first before connecting it back with my marker. Now that I'm done connecting it, I'm going to just impute my, we've imputed our measurements before, so I'm just going to be imputing that 1.5 inches that we took in the waist measurement. I'm going to be imputing it to as an allowance to the waist part. Then I'm just going to be putting in my normal allowance of 2 inches. Remember, I told you from the start of this video that to make a basic body pattern, you don't really need the under bust measurement. So that is why I'm not putting in that allowance that is in the under bust to the under bust measurements, if you understand what I mean by that. And I'm just going to be ruling out my line. You can see the line is not giving us all this really curvy line. Well, that's because of that waist, that intake rather. So once that has been taken in, you are going to be seeing your shape back in the fabric. So now to take in the side dart, which is very, very important, I'm going to be going down by 1 inch from the bust line. I'm going to be going down by 1 inch. Reason because my client's back measurements, that's the back half length, is 15, while the front is 16. So I'm going to be subtracting the back from the front, that's 15 from 16, and that gave me 15. And I'm just going to connect it to the breast point, of course, and that will be for the side measurement, for the side dart. So now it's time to cut off the pattern paper that we've drafted, and I just remembered that I've not cut out my neck, the neck parts of the pattern. So I'm just going to be going down by 3 inches basically. Okay, I did 3.5 inches for her. I did 3.5 inches for her because the dress I'm sewing, it does not need any manipulation. I just want to use this pattern straight up on the dress. All right, so I went down by 3.5 inches, then connected my line to that shoulder point, and I just cut out the remaining pattern. Alright, so that is all for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please give it a thumbs up, it is important. And if you are yet to join the family, you are free to subscribe to this new YouTuber. Yes, and turn on your notification bell so you are going to be getting every notification of the new sewing tips, tutorials that I have in stock for you. Thank you so much. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit that subscribe button now. Hit it now, and thanks for watching. I love you guys. Bye.